That's right, this is an ambient guitar remix challenge, and if you take me up on it, I'll promote your remix here on the channel. Let's get to work. And I recently posted an apocalyptic ambient guitar piece, and I want to walk you through how I got the sound, and in particular one really cool plugin. I also thought it would be a lot of fun to issue a remix challenge, so we'll talk about that towards the end of this video. All right, I've got Logic Pro pulled up. Let's listen to just a little bit of the full mix, then I'll break it down for you. All right, hang in there with me. Now there are 3 different tracks on this piece. You see 4 there, but one is duplicated. We've got guitar, drums, and a synthesizer track. One thing I'd like to note before we get into it is that I've got the BPM on my DAW, which is Logic Pro, set up to 60 beats per minute. So you'll want to do that too, maybe, for your remix. Let's check out the synth first, because that's the simplest. I used on this synthesizer track the Arturia ARP26 ARP, right? 2600V. And I've just got a classic patch pulled up, a sequenced patch, and monkeyed around with a little bit. Here's what I got. All right. Nothing too crazy there. I should mention I've got a few effects on the synth. One is the Logic Overdrive, and the other one is a stereo delay. And if you can see, the overdrive is just giving me a little bit of crunch, 6 dB of crunch. The left delay on the stereo delay is set to quarter note timing. Remember, I'm at 60 BPM. Right delay is at 1/8 note. Let me go ahead and turn these guys off, and then I'll bring them in. You'll hear the difference. Here we go. Here comes the overdrive. Delay. All right, next up is the drums. Here's what they sound like soloed in the mix. And of course, I have a few things going on there. So if we just drop out everything except for the standard Logic drummer, which is what this is, here's what we get. Yeah, not bad. I always like to add a little bit of overdrive into my drums too, just to make things a little more punchy, maybe blend everything together a little bit more. Here's what that sounds like. It just gives a little more weight to the drums. All right, next up, I'm going to save the plugin I want to talk about for last. But next up is the free Valhalla space modulator, which I use the heck out of. It's such a great plugin. I'll include a link in the video description. Just a little bit of the symphonic verb patch. All right, let's go to the fun plugin now. This is called the Velvet Machine by Phonolyth. I gotta tell you, this thing is an amazing, not quite a reverb, not quite a delay, but kind of like a sonic smearing machine. So let's check this out on the drums. Whoa. Okay, is that cool or what? Let me just mention a couple things here. This line represents the envelope of your effect. and you can put little points in there and kind of change things around. Let's see what that does here. Quite a bit different, isn't it? And of course you got mix and all that stuff, but the really cool thing is this density knob. And it increases or decreases what they call I believe it's the impulses per second. You can go from 1 IPS to 2000 IPS. And basically, I like to think of it as a little bit of a delay. Here we go. You can hear just a little bit of a delay thing going on. Let me go ahead and increase the density. You can really hear that when I've got it up to 9 IPS. And then as I begin, oh yeah, it's really cool. But anyhow, that is the Phonolyth Velvet machine. I'll talk about that in a minute on the guitar also. So let's put the synthesizer and the drums together so you can get a feel for what's going on with the two of them. Here we go. Yeah, kind of cool. All right, let's talk about the guitar. If you've watched the video of the piece, you'll know that I'm using the Heet Sound EBow to generate the basic tone. And I just ran my guitar direct into a Strymon Compadre compressor, into the Strymon Iridium amp modeler, and into my volume pedal, and then right into the computer. So if you were going to kind of copy this or replicate it, you would just use a compressor pedal and some kind of amp modeling pedal and a volume pedal into your computer, and you would get something similar. And here's what basically the dry sound is with a little bit of EQ on it. All right, that's not bad. I'm going to go ahead and throw the mix reverb on, Chroma Verb from Logic. So that's kind of the room sound. So I'm going to leave that on because that affects everything in the mix. But let's go ahead and talk about what I'm doing with the guitar besides the EBow. First up is a pitch shifter 1 octave below. Oh yeah. I like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, next up after that is some delay, and I'm using the ever popular, at least for me, Valhalla delay, and I've got a 10-second delay set up. This will create a Frippertronics kind of effect. Let's listen to at least 10 or 15 seconds of it so you can hear the delay kick in. Okay, so as you can hear, with that delay repeat coming in 10 seconds later, and since I'm only playing single notes, we're starting now to get some chordal structure into the tune. Well, we're not done with delay, so let's go to the next plugin, and that is the out-of-the-box tape delay from Logic Pro. So if you've got any kind of tape delay plugin, this will do it. I'm set up to 1/4 note synchronized with the BPM, so it's basically a 60 BPM delay repeat. Here's what this sounds like. Yeah, that's kind of cool, just like it is, but there's some magic that we need to add in, again, with the Phonolyth Velvet machine. As you can see, I've got an envelope kind of created here where we've got a rise, kind of a hold or sustain, and then we begin to decay out. The overall time of this effect is 10 seconds, and the density is 90 impulses per second. So you're going to hear this build up as I play the track. So here's what it sounds like. Yes. Can you hear what's happening? We're getting now almost a string kind of sound because of the Velvet machine. But wait, we're not done. If one guitar track with the Phonolyth Velvet machine is cool, then 2 tracks should be even cooler, right? That's exactly what I did. I duplicated track 1 and stuck it on track 2, and all I did was adjust the pitch shift to an octave above. And then, here's where the fancy stuff gets into play. I added some automation on the mix level of the octave. So if we run through here, check that out. You see the mix level right here. It's now at 36%. You'll see it goes up to, there we go, 61. Then we're down to 32. Okay, so I am changing the mix level of the octave above to add in extra emphasis to what I'm playing. Let me just play a little bit of this one by itself, then I'll add the lower guitar part in. Here we go. All right, let me add the other guitar track in, and let's see what we get with the octave below, standard pitch, and the octave above coming in louder over time. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start off with the synthesizer, add the drums in, and then add those guitar tracks in. Synthesizer first. Yeah, here come the drums. Now here come the guitars. Now, if you're looking closely, you'll notice that I've got a little bit more automation going in on the drum track. And what I'm doing here is just simply increasing the mix of the Velvet machine that's over on the drum track. So here it is here. You can see the mix currently is at 26%. If I run it to the end, you'll see we go all the way up to 80% mix, which is kind of out there, but it sounds really cool. Check this out. Yeah, that is a little bit out there, isn't it? But I think it really builds up to a great crescendo. All right, you guys ready for my remix challenge? Yeah, of course you are. So here's the deal. I have released this song, which is called The Elements Shall Melt with Fervent Heat. I've released it over on Bandcamp as a mini album. Track 1 is my mix of the single itself. Tracks 2, 3, and 4 are the dry, unaffected stems of the guitar, drums, and the synth track. So here's what you're going to get. If you download from Bandcamp, and oh, by the way, this is set to name your own price, so you can download it for free, no worries. But here's what it sounds like. All right, so your dry guitar or my dry guitar, the basic drums. They sound kind of uninspiring by themselves, don't they? All right, so you guys got to figure out how to make them inspiring. And then finally, the synthesizer track. All right, so tracks 2, 3, and 4 of my mini album are the stems, drums, synth, and guitar. So what I want you to do is head over to Bandcamp. I'll have the link below. Download that whole mess. And then what I want you to do is download the demo. If you're interested in the Phonolyth Velvet machine, download the demo. Sorry to break in on the video, but I just got word that Phonolyth has a 25% off coupon if you're interested in buying the Velvet machine. I'll have links below. Back to the video. And then do your own remix of my tune. If you want to add other tracks in, cool. If you want to chop it up and make it totally bizarre, more bizarre than it already is, that's cool too. If you don't want to use the Velvet machine, totally cool. But I'll have links to all that stuff below. Once you get your remix done, I want you to post it on your Bandcamp page or on your SoundCloud page, and then send me a link to the email that you're seeing right now. That's my basic email address for chordsoforion.com. Just send the link to me and get the link to me by the end of August. Okay, so we're at August the 17th today. I need it by your link by August the 31st. And then what I'm going to do, I think this will be cool. I'll put together a video that I will post here on the channel, and I won't be able to play, everyone's piece in totality, but we're gonna play samples of everyone's remixes, and I'll include links to your Bandcamp or SoundCloud in the video description, so everybody can just have fun and we can all benefit from our experiences together by remixing this tune. I am super excited to hear what comes in, so don't delay, remix today. I'll see all of you on the next video.